your mind operates on two distinct levels, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and understanding the difference between these two is absolutely critical.
A very good morning to you out there. Welcome to The Voice, your online community radio station. It's exactly 7 minutes past the hour of 10. Welcome. It's a Monday morning. It's a beautiful day out there. We're entering into summer, and I trust that you guys are all well out there. And as usual, in studio with me, I have the mighty Mr. Shakes, Mr. John, I'm calling you John today. You know why? Because the All Blacks beat the Springboks. But Mr. Bevan, Mr. Bevan, thank you. And with me in the studio, like I said, is Bevan Shakes, Shelton, and Ashley McBride. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Sai. Thank you so much for having us on air once again, and welcome to our listeners and viewers. This is absolutely phenomenal to be able to talk to people. Who would have thought radio would have gone this far, where you can actually see the people talking to you? I thought I had a face for radio only, you know. But yeah, we are so grateful to be here this morning. Mixed feelings. Man United lost. The Springboks lost. It can only get better. That's the good thing. You know what Dad once told me? The nice thing about being in the doldrums is that there's only one way, and that's up.
There's no ways that we can go down. We go forward. No, Mr. Sheikh. So, welcome. Thank you so much.
It's
been a mixed feeling weekend. But yeah, Ashley?
Good morning.
It's
nice to be back. I must choose. And like you said, it has been an eventful weekend.
Yeah. No, that smile, always when you walk into the studio, I always look at you with that positive attitude, that smile, although that all of us, we are challenged with so many, we're faced with so many challenges out there, but yet we portray, it's a powerful word, portray that smile or that positive, but that you only bring that amongst people that makes you happy.
True. You can't wear what you're going through on your face.
On your face, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like when people ask me, hey, how are you? I say, no, I'm good. I will never make a negative confession because 90% is happy that it's happening with you and 10% don't care. So why would I come and spell it out to you? I'm all good.
Good.
That's how we roll.
Good.
And in the Bible it says that if you're fasting and that things, don't go out with your lips dry. Don't let the people go and don't go and show people what you're doing at home. So we have to.
But some people just don't know, and that's why we are here. It's like when you walk into, like the old post office was a good place to make an example of. When you walk in, the most grimmest looking people would sit on the other side of the counter. Next.
Are you talking about now or those days?
Back in the day.
Back in the days.
Do we still have a post office now?
No.
So what I'm saying is, people like that, and there's a lesson to be learned here. People like that carry what they go through on their faces, and what they don't realize is that, hey, World War II was worse. People died. Now you come here and you look all grumpy, and you just don't have a sense of purpose, so to speak, but to make people's lives miserable. What you need to understand is, whatever you're going through, somebody's going through something worse than yourself. You don't have to make other people's lives miserable, especially if you're in a place where you have to deliver services. Imagine our counselors grumpy all day. Who will ever approach her? So people need to catch a wake up to that. Yes, life happened there. Life happened to the Springboks on the weekend, and that was really happening to the Springboks because the score line says it all. I mean, that was a hiding. Normally it's a 1 or 2 point difference, in the score.
Exactly.
But this was half the point,
And a lot of South Africans is trying to consume the loss, and now there's no other alternative. Well, we saw them; they played very, very weak. There was no plan B basically. So me coming from a rugby background,
Yes.
I did not watch the game. I only saw a little bit of clips on Facebook, so I cannot elaborate a lot about the game.
But what you saw.
But what I saw. But for me, the sore point for me is whenever our Springboks lose, our colored or black people are always the one that's to be blamed.
True.
Now let us get back to what I've seen. Rugby is a 15-man game. The one depend on the other.
Yes.
If your scrum is not good enough under pressure at all times, your scrum half, which was Grant William at the time, he gets a bad ball, or he's so under pressure that he either look at the one touchdown and they scored because the ball struggled to come out, and the moment he got the ball and wanted to kick, the lock, imagine the lock is in the middle of the scrum, the lock is there to charge down. Why was that? It's not because of his incompetence. He was selected because he's a good scrum half
Yes.
and is a good reader of the game. In the same time, the fly-off, also under pressure, which unfortunately was also a black guy. So the two of them was like blamed for the Springboks losing. Now I'm asking, where was Etzebeth in the game? Did you see him ever being so aggressive in, when he plays? Etzebeth is the machine there.
You know what's sad is the fact that we make these distinctions that we're talking about now, where we speak about color and the blame game and things like that. It's unfortunate that South Africa is still divided along these lines, because now 15 men were on that pitch on Saturday.
Why is it only two?
A few get singled out.
Of color.
Of color getting singled out. There I'm hearing people calling for Sasha's removal from the team now, all of a sudden.
From the team completely.
Yes, they're calling for him to be removed from the team completely. They're making statements, and you can see the side of community who's making these calls.
Yes.
When it comes to the kicker, Mani Lebok has been under pressure from the public space for so long, and you can see where it comes from.
Correct.
And it's sad.
And it breaks the players' morale.
Of course, they read and they see because they're trying to do it for especially these ones who are complaining.
And there's no better fly-offs at the moment than Mani Lebok.
That boy is brilliant. He reads the game.
Perfectly.
The man changed being a number 10 in World Rugby.
True.
The dynamic that comes with it. You know something exciting is going to happen.
Because he reads the game.
Exactly.
So-
And the innovation that he comes with.
I can remember years back when Victor Matfield was still playing. He was the most useless lock that you can ever find. You'll always find Victor Matfield wide playing on the wing. Always.
Yes.
Instead of being in the...
He was 5, isn't it?
He was 5.
He
Yeah,
was
he played
number
5. But because Buckies was number 4.
Yes.
So he was always playing wide. But they kept him there. They kept him. They persevered. They worked with him. And he became the best lock in the world.
There we go.
But they will never work with our people like this. Like work with money. Work like, together collectively. It's the white media, and I'm calling this the white media and the white supporters that always wants to blame the blacks or the coloreds.
I'll give you license to do that this morning. I mean, look at what happened to Snorra.
The best coach, he beat the All Blacks twice in a year. He won the World Cup for us.
Yes.
De Villiers.
And then that same team that he won that World Cup, the Juniors World Cup with, was the same team that Jake White inherited.
Come on.
And then Jake became this guy, Snorra prepared that team for him
Yes.
to go and win the next World Cup.
Yes.
But they removed him because he could not keep his mouth shut when it came to right and wrong.
Yes.
It's just sad. Unfortunately, Saeed, we're living in a spiritual dynamic where whatever you say you create, and that's biblical as well. I think even your Quran speaks about the power of your words. The important thing is what people don't understand is what you speak, you create. And unfortunately, as South Africans, we love to talk. And we don't say positive things. I always tell people, when you speak, make sure that your words are sweet, because at some point you're going to have to eat them.
You're gonna have to eat it.
And now we see that people have this negative attitude towards people within a team. What are you doing now? Spiritually, you're breaking down a segment of that team, because 15 men were on the field. But now you're singling out one or two, or you're casting aspersions. That one is already going to mess up even before the game starts.
Because you spoke it.
You're speaking
And I mean,
things.
it's a team. There's no I in team. It's the whole team. Why
Yes.
just one person? Why just one person?
The whole team needs to take responsibility for their poor performance. But I also think it was a good thing for South Africa to lose, because we've created a winning culture in every sport to the point where it becomes boring. I think that will serve as a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And I think the All Blacks must watch themselves in the next game.
In the next game, if they don't select.
We
You
coming back.
you see, the problem I have is that, now we've lost. The Springbok players as a whole didn't do well. They just didn't have a plan B. If you look at our centre pairing, Jesse Kriel and Damien, right? If you look at that, they were nowhere. That is why the Springboks could drift past them, right? So if you look at our centre pairing, there was no defence there. Damian Willemse was the best on the field for me, the number 15. He was incredible under the high balls. Brilliant.
He is a
Right.
very innovative player.
Our scrums didn't do so well. When they took Ox off, that is where our scrum started to crumble.
So they took the strength away.
Yes.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Saeed Abrams is also a former provincial and national rugby player. Under the old bedeling, under the Saru dispensation. So the man knows what he's talking about. And we watched him when his son was playing. He doesn't know this, but I was watching and following. His son was playing at Forentu High School. And then he got involved with the rugby there.
Yeah.
I know what Forentu's rugby was all about back in the day. And I don't want to break down anybody, but you know, it was a very poorly knitted team. And then Saeed came and made these guys believe in themselves and the dynamic of their team. It became exciting to watch.
They won all the games.
All the matches they won because Saeed came in.
Doing
So maybe we should pitch you, but I don't want you to go the Snorer route. Get there and then get kicked out. You know?
I'm happy. I'm really happy.
But the sad part is the thing that you brought up earlier. Now they're talking about Snorer. Look how they destroyed the man's career.
True.
Because somebody didn't agree with him. They took talent and destroyed it. I mean, the man ended up with one of the universities as a coach. Where is that gone to now? Where is he?
Then he went to Windhoek, Southwest Africa. He went to coach them the last World Cup. The guy's back. I think he's with Zimbabwe now.
Wow.
But I mean, such talent. Instead of bringing him into the Springbok fold, and assist, because he's brilliant in coaching. He's very good.
He was.
But because of the skin color, and I'm saying this with utmost respect, that it's unfortunate that our people must go through this. If you go back, you look at Elton Jantjies, one of the best fly halves, and the moment they found out that he had it was something drug related, or
He was involved with
a physio.
physiotherapist. Yeah.
They skinned him alive. The best flyer at that moment. They got him out.
So they were looking for an excuse all the time.
And you know why? What makes them angry, and I'm using the word them, all right, is because most of these players, they married white girls.
You bring in another dynamic to the
Yes.
fore now. Because at the end of
Can
the
you?
ultimately, it becomes a matter of race.
Yes.
For some people,
You
we will never all be South Africans. Unfortunately, what we fought for or fought against in the struggle is not what we got after post-apartheid.
No.
We fought against racialism. We had non-racial sport. That is what we advocated. And unfortunately, this government knew that divide and rule makes it easy to steal and to destroy a country.
And
Yes.
control, yes.
And there you have the results thereof. It was purposely done that we are still living in silos. You colored, even when you're filling in official forms, you got to say what color you are. Otherwise, the page will not go to the next page on the internet. I don't know if you have experienced
Automatically.
that. Have you seen that?
Please click.
Yeah, they bring you back to that page.
Yes.
You got to say what is
Yeah.
your skin color.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, you don't hear political parties being very loud on that. Then we have our black brothers that we fought back to back with in the struggle. They are very silent when it comes to these things because the person who fought with them in the struggle is now being excluded from the struggle. A couple of years ago, I had an interesting conversation with a group of students at 1912 online radio. You remember Sipo?
Yeah,
He
Sipo
was
was
with us
Sipo, yeah.
at that Kofifi back in the day.
Yes, yes.
Sipo started that radio channel for the
1912,
ANC.
yes.
And I was there at the time just to talk about the exclusion of colored people. I played music, people like Aloe April. I played Pacific Express.
I remember.
Then people would tune in and ask, hey, who are these artists? Why have we never heard this kind of music?
Wow.
What is this? And then I explained to them, guys, the sad part is the very organization that we're representing and sitting with now is the same organization that excluded these grades. That's why I'm so grateful for what happened over the weekend. People can say what they like, but in my eyes, Gayton McKenzie is the man of the moment for being the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture. Jonathan Butler was our biggest export in music for many, many years.
He was only recognized now recently.
Exactly. Who made it possible? This minister came and honored him. Leon Schuster got honored over the weekend. It shows you that Gayton doesn't look at skin color. He looks at what you were bringing to the table.
Yeah, he even went to visit Leon at home with O'Clain Maniki. What
Yes,
is
or
that?
Alfred.
Oh, Alfred.
Dombela.
They had a wonderful time there. So that I really, really appreciate, bringing the best out of our people. But why only now?
Because there's somebody who's not blinded. There's somebody who is liberal in his thoughts to say that we are all South Africans. And that comes back to the topic we had way back when we started out. This man is the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture for South Africa.
South Africa.
And we all South Africans must
Exactly.
support him. Being a political leader, that's something different.
Yes.
Right? That's a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
topic.
Yes, yes.
But if there's a minister, like call it Helen Zille, if she's the minister of something, we must support her because she's the minister of South Africa.
Yes.
Correct. Having our best
So this is a
interests at heart.
distinction that we as people must understand.
Indeed.
As politicians on the ground.
And it goes across spectrum, Saeed. It's not only with sports, arts and culture. Even in the workplace, we have the situation. Remember those wardens, the correctional service
Yep.
staff members who were overlooked for promotion?
Yes.
Yes.
I think there was 9 of them and one white person.
You know about that, Ashley.
Yes, I remember
That
watching
thing,
it.
that thing ended up in the Constitutional Court. Why did it have to get to that
So far.
point? Aren't these then the same people who gave the world Gregory Rockman, who started a party or rather an organization that stood for equality? I mean, Rockman put his neck out there.
He's still alive.
Yes,
Is he from
Gregory.
Beaufort West?
He's originally from there and he's still alive, I believe. But the man disappeared in the sunset, unfortunately. Pop Crew is still around, but
Miles, ne?
yeah. But the sad part is we have become so prone to skin color. I mean, take the football team, for instance. There you take in boys or you're leaving boys on the bench that can bring value to the team because it's about coupling players.
Correct.
They got a pair on the field because skin color doesn't score goals.
Yeah.
It's skill and talent that scores
Skill and
goals.
talent.
It's like what the Portuguese team did with Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes could pass the ball in the EPL to any player anywhere on the pitch. Show me one pass to Ronaldo in the World Cup.
None whatsoever.
Not a single pass. What does it tell you? Infighting.
Yeah.
When there's unity, people prosper.
Yes.
Where people are fighting against a house divided against itself cannot stand. And that is the sad reality of South Africa. We could have done a lot better over many years for a very long time if we overlooked skin color. We can't help it if the brain has got what it takes. If you have 11 of them on the pitch and they bring back the World Cup, they're still South Africans to me.
Why not?
If you have, if you look at whatever other sport, and it's dominated by whites, I don't care about their skin color. For me, it's about they are South Africans. If they bring back, look at our swimming team. There's no black there that won gold. But to me, Chad Leclerc is a South African. All the others who did well are South African. They're representing my country. And that is what it's about. I mean, even in the workplace, it's sad what we are experiencing. People are getting overlooked. Colored children CVs end up in the bins. And it has been stated categorically, it has been proven time and again that these children don't qualify. Based on somebody's narrative, because apartheid has now moved behind closed doors and it's institutionalized.
Yeah. And the fact that our history is being also thrown in the bin, that is why the youth of today, the black youth of today, don't understand. They don't know about our history and our culture.
Hey,
They don't.
That's a different story, you know. But what I can tell you, it is very unfair how things, play off nowadays. As far as
just a quick shout out. I see I've got some of my members here giving shout outs. Oscar Palooza, I see you, my brother. Auntie D, wow, East London is represented. Mandoli is there, Enver, Briantia. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in and listening in. Please make your comments as we go along, and we will gladly read them out to our listenership and our viewers. So, having said all of the above, we're living in a dispensation, and we can't, unfortunately, go back to this. It's time to rise out of the situation. We can blame apartheid all we like. We can even blame the current dispensation all we like. But the sad part is, we are not proactive in ridding ourselves from what has been placed on our necks. And this yoke is becoming very burdensome for our people. That is why we don't have jobs. If you don't have a job, start a business. If you don't have a business, if you don't have an idea, guys, there's so many ideas out there. All you have to do, also consult your own passion. What is it that you are willing to do without getting paid for? Then you know that is passion.
No, most definitely. We're coming to you live from Westbury, the Voice, your online community radio station. It's exactly 10:30. We're going to go for a quick ad break, and then after this, we will continue our discussion.
Got a story to tell, a message to share, or a brand that deserves to be heard? At the Voice Community Radio Podcast Studio, we provide professional, high-quality, and affordable podcast solutions. From recording, editing, and live streaming, to branding, marketing, publishing, and studio rentals, we do it all. Whether you're a business, church, content creator, or organization, we'll help your voice reach the world. Book your session today. Call or WhatsApp us on 063-924-2835. The Voice Community Radio. Connecting voices, sharing stories, amplifying communities. Want your business to be heard by thousands? Then advertise with The Voice Community Radio, where your message gets results. From high-impact radio commercials, live presenter mentions, to event promotions, sponsorship packages, brand partnerships, and professional audio production, we've got everything you need to grow your brand. Reach your audience, build your business, make your voice impossible to ignore. Got a story to tell, a message to share, or a brand that deserves to be heard? At the Voice Community Radio Podcast Studio, we provide professional, high-quality, and affordable podcast solutions. From recording, editing, and live streaming, to branding, marketing, publishing, and studio rentals, we do it all. Whether you're a business, church, content creator, or organization, we'll help your voice reach the world. Book your session today. Call or WhatsApp us on 063-924-2835. The Voice Community Radio. Want your business to be heard by thousands? Then advertise with The Voice Community Radio, where your message gets results. From high-impact radio commercials, live presenter mentions, to event promotions, sponsorship packages, brand partnerships, and professional audio production, we've got everything you need to grow your brand. Reach your audience, build your business, make your voice impossible to ignore. Call us today on 063-924-2835. The Voice Community Radio. Connecting voices, sharing stories, amplifying communities.
5
Welcome back. You are tuned into The Voice, your online community radio station, coming to you live here from Westbury. And in studio with me is Bevan Shelton and Ashley. Let us continue our conversation. We had such a nice conversation regarding, employment, just a talk in general, even up to the Springboks and the All Blacks. But yeah, Mr. Shakes, let us continue with our chat that we had earlier on. Let us get back to the workplace.
Indeed. Unfortunately, we always come back to this topic. But this is the reality of South Africa, and we want to make a change. We want to bring a difference to what's going on out there. And the only way people can make a difference is when you are informed. What they used to say is, what you don't know won't hurt you.
Yes.
But that couldn't be further from the truth. Because what you don't know will destroy you. You got to know how the world works. You got to know who's in charge of the world in order for you to find your space. Now we've talked sports, and we can continue doing so. We had the late Mr. Monty Sandhouse right next door at Dowling. His nephew was he is a brilliant football player, but in his prime, he got destroyed by our very own football federation. I mean, if you look at Tyrone Sandhouse, where have you heard Brazil imports football players?
No, they don't.
They took him from Westbury to Brazil.
When?
The boy was 11 years old when they took him over.
You're talking about after the World War II.
That was a couple of years ago. But it was during the time when South Africa under 23s played the AFCON, remember? In the first couple of games, they already lost. And then they had him on the bench.
And when he came on,
unfortunately, South Africa already got kicked out of the tournament. And then in one of the dead rubbers against Zambia already qualified.
he made an impact.
This boy was brought onto the pitch. In no time, South Africa was leading 3-0. We beat Zambia 5-1 on the day. And if you look at the footage, then you will ask yourself the question, why didn't he score all 5?
By then it was already too late.
But now we take it further than that.
Yes.
South Africa qualifies to go to the Brazilian Olympic Games. Remember, the first match of that tournament, Africa versus the host nation, Brazil.
Yes.
Guess where's Tyrone Sandhouse? On the bench. Guess who speaks the language of the opposition? Guess who is a household name in Brazil? When you say Neymar and you say Ty, everybody knows who you're talking about. That is how brilliant the boy was in Brazil. But here on the day of the match, the Gama leaves him on the bench. Who was the happiest on the day? I'll leave it there.
We don't want to
Not
say.
me. I wasn't happy about
The
that.
Brazilians were very happy because number one, Thai understands their language. You would have messed up their game plan because
Yes.
you can hear what they had to say. But that wasn't good enough.
What is the reason for this?
Color.
It's a skin color thing, unfortunately.
Do you think that our colored people is marginalized?
We
You
are.
know, we are not black.
There's nothing to think about it. It is
No,
the
we-
case. We are marginalized, not only but excluded,
Excluded.
from the greater building of South Africa. But now there's a resurgence that's also happening. Have you seen how many colored CEOs are getting appointed in big companies in
I
South
see.
Africa?
I've seen
I
flicks
The
that's-
world is waking up to
Yes.
the gift. I spoke to you about this off air. Here's one, and I want our listenership to think about it because I like skoorsoek.
Yes.
That's me. And it's not skoorsoek
It's-
if you can back it up.
You teaching in that skoorsoek.
Exactly.
You come with facts and
People need to think. Now, here's one for you. We've all watched Bafana play.
yes.
We've seen when Stephen Pienaar was on the pitch, he was the captain of the team. Ask yourself the question, why did that boy, retire from international football and he had another 2 or 3 or even 5 years left in him? I'll tell you what happened. Here's it. We all watch TV, we all watch the game. Now you see, here's a player coming with the ball. On the right or on the left wing, or there's a striker waiting for the ball coming through. He happens to be colored. Now you ask yourself, but why the hell is this guy not passing this ball to the man that's open?
Yes.
Then we can score. Then we found out afterwards, no, it's done deliberately. When they do pass the ball, it's a bad pass, but they expect this guy to score now. Then he makes a hash of it. Why? Because they want the guys to be removed and substituted so that somebody who looks like the majority on the field
Yes.
can get a chance to play. So they rather destroy careers instead of winning matches. During Clive Barker's AFCON win, what was the dynamic in the team? Do you want to tell me that there's no Indian players after Brendan Augustine? Shout out Chigan. Peace, my bro, respect. He's my homie. Brendan Augustine was the last Indian to be able to play football for South Africa. You want to tell me there's no other Indians, and yet I've seen teams like Prides of India in East London, for instance. There's Merchants, the same team that gave South Africa Brendan Augustine. I mean, there's leagues here in Indonesia. Not to say that, but the inclusivity aspect is not there. South Africa would rather field a Gauteng national team consisting of Sundowns, Chiefs, and Pirates. And then in there, they are not South African. They are Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns players. They don't remember that, hey, you're playing for your country now, And that is the sad part.
Look at even this World Cup. Look at this World Cup. How many
No, that's what
talented players left
was left
behind?
at home. Yeah. Pathetic. Yeah.
Guys, when you talk about this World Cup that's gone, the sad reality is, unfortunately, I have family members who play overseas. They are young. The one was Liverpool's under 15 and under 16 captain. This is Liverpool, not Kaizer Chiefs. And we're talking one of the top 5 players, 5 teams in the world. He wasn't good enough to represent South Africa in the under 17 AFCON tournament.
playing there.
He's Liverpool's captain. That alone should tell you something, not because it's my family. It just happens to be my family. That is why I'm speaking about it. But
I remember now, a few years ago, you were very. I saw your post. Is it this boy that
the
you?
same boy, Gabriano Shelton.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
What's the man
You know what had to happen? Quentin Fortune, being at Man United,
Yes.
saw what this boy was what was happening. I mean, the boy, they labeled him Captain Fantastic #2 after Gerrard. The day they got to Liverpool, Gerrard, he was coaching the under 18s at the time. And the boys were next door. Their training field was. Stephen wasn't even training or coaching his team. He was watching the boys because it was a big fuss. There were so many EPL teams that wanted them to come and play. And I'm only speaking about the one. The other one, the younger one, 15 years old. You've already been signed under 18 contract. at Huddersfield. They had to leave Liverpool because Liverpool couldn't guarantee them playtime. Because arguably, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but truth be told, Liverpool has one of the best academies in the world. And I asked him, when he was in South Africa, I had a conversation with him, and I asked him, how many children are competing for your position? He said there's about 13 on the bench, and all 13 of them have to get a show. So we had to make a decision. I stay here, but I play, every now and then, or I can go find me a team where I play regularly.
Yes.
Within a year, he became Huddersfield's captain.
So you're telling me all of the Brown must go outside of this country?
Unfortunately, there's Chandra Campbell. He's not my family. The boy's playing at Club Brugge. He's performing, he's scoring goals. They leave him on the bench. They didn't even give him one match at the World Cup. I mean, and. What about this lighty they call Boera from Cape Town? He's also a Chiefs now.
Okay.
The lighty is something else on the pitch. He's a machine. Not even considered for selection. But we're making a big deal of certain individuals. Guys, this nonsense must stop.
Must stop.
Yeah, it is really not fair as to how us as a colored community, especially athletes, how they treat us. It's really not good. If you look at soccer, rugby, cricket, swimming, athletics, it's most of the sports in South Africa. Our colored people excel, even in business for that matter, even in the education field. There's Mr. Sheldon, a brilliant master mathematician, a historian, you name it.
Alles.
A sports fanatic. There's
That's
the
why I
man.
believe Jesus Christ is colored. I'm putting it out there. I'm sorry because
He was a black man.
He was.
he was brown. I feel
I don't
because
know.
that is our nation. So
Yeah.
all these years, the same repetition.
The thing is, guys, unfortunately, we have come to a place in South Africa where we still have that notion that whatever the white man brings to the table is good. I don't dispute, it is good. A lot of what they bring to the table is good.
Right.
But we do have equal talent
Thank you.
from the black community,
Thank you.
from the Indian community, from the colored community.
It's not shared equally.
Now imagine if you harness all those
absolutely.
talents together.
We will be trying.
But I think it's because that there's an instrument that's been put in place for South Africa as a whole to fail, as a failed African state. And you have your African leaders following instructions from someone on top.
Sadly so.
Sadly so.
It's
You can look in between the lines. You can see the Matlanga commission happening now. There is enough proof and evidence as to where billions and billions of rands and dollars went to. But not a single one apart from Ket Matlatla that has been arrested. But there is so many.
It's hard, it's heartbreaking when
And
you
now
mention these
another
things.
colored guy is on the podium, Fadil, and they're crucifying him,
Where
and
is
it's
he?
through
Did
him.
he ever come out?
No,
Yeah,
we
he's
saw it.
coming out, isn't
But-
he?
and it's through him
Commission.
where we are with the Matlanga Commission. It's through him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He asked the questions at the time, but now they're crucifying him.
Because he asked
Another
the
colored-
proper
yes.
questions.
And I don't know, guys, it is really sad as to what is happening in our country.
Let's
Things
see.
in sports, in politics.
Let's hear the truth, because at the end of the day, I love this because we're an independent, and we're not governed on that level where we can pull punches.
No, listen, what we are saying here, it is all relevant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are not targeting anyone in particular. We're just speaking our mind
Yes.
about the unfairness, which is true.
Correct.
We're not sucking anything out of our
We
thumb.
loving it. That's why we can talk about
We
it because
experience
it's
it.
our experience.
Our children experiences,
It's our
our
experience.
parents experience.
And the next generation is being affected by it. Because here you have people clearly guilty of crimes, but nobody's going to jail.
They walk
Nobody's
around.
getting arrested.
Yeah.
Some are fall guys. They're being used as scapegoats, because how deep does this rabbit hole go?
Oh,
These are the questions that we got to ask. Say a couple of years, not even so long ago, I woke up to a Facebook post by somebody, I can't remember who it was, but this person showed us human trafficking. My hair on my head stood up. I looked like I had spikes probably in my spiritual being because of the fact of what I was hearing. There are movies being made that shows you generals being involved in this thing, presidents being involved, but nobody goes to jail because there's an agenda. Have you seen in recent times, the pedophile agenda is being pushed. The gay agenda is being pushed onto people.
Yep.
I'm not saying don't be gay. That's your choice.
But this goes down to public.
But don't force it onto the next person. Why do you want me to subscribe to something that I wasn't raised to subscribe to? Yes, in a democracy, everybody has their right, and I'm not anti because people are people to me. I don't see you differently.
But
You
why
are a
push it?
person, so don't force your
Why
belief
push
system
it?
onto
Yes.
me. Have you seen in soccer? They wanted people to wear the pride band on their arms. What does that have to do with football? What does it have to do with sport? You know, why force your agenda onto people?
And
That's
it,
wrong.
and I can agree with you there because remember, teenagers, when we grow up from a certain age to a certain age, your mind is not there. You're not properly developed. Now you're pushing those children to go and have what you call this when they even change your body parts and everything. How when men are grown by 27 or
You're
something
getting
like
down
that,
a heavy path right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
You're going down that's a
think
rabbit
about
hole
it.
you don't want to go down in. But the
Why?
point
I
is,
hear you. I hear you.
hear you. We fully understand what you're saying, but this thing is much, much, much bigger than you think. I mean, there you see videos and evidence surfacing of people that are getting killed because they try to expose these leaders. I mean, one leader was in the race for presidency in the States. And I won't carry on by saying too much.
Yes.
Because I don't want to veer down that road again. I don't want you guys to wake up tomorrow morning and hear, I know more.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
You feel me on that one?
Yes.
And this thing is being forced onto people. However, as South Africans, we need to put a stop. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones that will be suffering as a result of the agendas that are being pushed.
No, of course. You know what? The
non-binary
problem,
and all of those things.
the problem that I have amongst us as colored people, now enough, we've been talking a lot about the unfairness, how our colored people is being treated in this country, being at sports and whatever. The problem that I'm having with our colored people is ons like the juicy stories. We like to capitalize on things that we have no knowledge about, but you want to sit in that company and you want to talk about it, of which you don't know. So someone will come into the space of Mr. Bevan Shelton, I'm making an example,
Yes.
and talk about Ashley. They don't know Ashley from a bar soap, and they will discuss Ashley. So I'm just talking about a small point. I'm making a small point here. But now let's talk about on the political arena. Our parents and our parents, I'm talking about many years ago, I'm talking about, like, call it the 50s or 60s. My parents,
Yes.
your parents, Mr. Shaw, your parents, we lived next to each other. We lived in peace, being a Muslim, Jew, Kosa, whatever. We lived peace and harmony.
There was a
Some of our
connection.
children even slept at each other's houses, being a Muslim or Christian, whatever. There was respect. Your children was my children. Then the whole thing took a turn, whereby Mr. Sheldon is ANC, I am a DA, you are a
Whatever.
or
Yeah.
EFF, right? And now we are fighting with one another. Our parents and used to live at the time. There wasn't so many political parties. Was the what you call it? You know the the NP,
Yeah.
and it was the Colored Party,
A Labour Party.
the Labour Party, and the Indian.
Yeah,
right? There wasn't
House
so
of-
many.
House of Reps, yeah.
Okay. So now we have a lot of political parties, of which has caused this division amongst us. Now, because that you are the ANC or whatever, I don't like you. But we're all trying to make our environment or our life better. But we are not going to achieve that if we work against each other. First of all, I want to make this point quickly. Have you seen many, I'm talking about 10 years ago, when the shooting went crazy here in Westbury, to a point where Becky Cele came to our open grounds with helicopters and the army and everyone. We had a big display of force here. It was said that the army will patrol the areas and stuff like that. It happened like it is now. It's just the same repetition as to what has happened then and now. Right? So this thing about the shooting and the killings here in our community is not a new thing.
Not new.
Right? It's been happening for many, many, many years. Now I'm asking this. Did anything change? Nothing has changed whatsoever to safeguard our people here in this community.
Whose interest is going to be for change to come?
Yes, but the way that we are working so much against each other, that is why we cannot see a solution, because it is Bevan is with the ANC, that everyone wants to, but there's no common ground. I must thank you. I must thank Melissa, you guys from the PA. When Bishop went to hand over this memorandum,
Yes.
they were the ones that said, thank you, go for it. And that means a lot. Because all of us want to see a change.
Everybody is affected, Saeed.
Not anymore me or
One death is one death too many.
It's too many.
Your political colors should not matter. It's a community issue. It's safety and security at play right now. The questions that you've asked, here's one that you should be asking. Who funds these political parties?
Come on. Yes.
So when you look at who funds them,
And the funding comes with agendas.
hold on. Before you even go there, the agenda's already there. It's about white supremacy. Knows that the Zulu nation in South Africa are the most Khoisan movements. There's about 250 Khoisan different groupings. Are you aware of that?
Now, which one is the right one?
Exactly. So when it comes to Contra Lesa calling a meeting, who's the representative? When Cyril asks who are the representatives of the Khoi and the San? So many guys to of us as a people, because all it is money driven, and unfortunately our people come at a price. There is a price by the derogatory of South Africa.
Wow.
But then again, I don't want to make this a political issue. That in itself is something that somebody needs to think about. Your allegiance will be there where somebody has a price tag on you, unfortunately. And because poverty is so rife, people will, I always say, when you fall, anything is good enough to hold on to. Yeah? So, who lives in the States, who lives in Cape Town, South African white millionaires, you can't really find them. Now, what does it tell you? It's a foreign thing. This thing has been prepared for foreigners to come into South Africa because they can afford to pay the rates. Because here's what happens. The prime properties in Cape Town belong to our people.
Yes.
Said, this is your town. We're talking about Cape Town now. You know the demographic in Cape Town, where the colored people live. Don't we own some of the most prime properties in that part of the world?
Talking from a Malay point of view, as you know that our family comes from Java, Indonesia and Malaysia. So we grew up in District 6.
Yes.
And then we moved from District 6. We stayed in District 6.
To live in a place like that. So what they do, the prime areas are now being levied. It's with levies. This is
For you as a colored person, that you cannot afford the levies anymore. You have no option then to sell your place.
or you lose your house.
Or you lose your house.
And in most cases, it's people losing their
But isn't this
properties.
extortion or something like that?
Hey, that's a force.
It's a modern day of extortion.
It's not
Modern
only.
apartheid, like today's apartheid. Okay.
Not only, it is the forced removal act that, well, the same thing that Sophia Town experienced in apartheid years.
Yes.
Because this was a melting pot of various people living together, like Said said. We had all colors and whatever living in Sophia Town. But then the Forced Removals Act brought places like Soweto into being, places like El Dorado Park into being, where that one is just for colors, this one is just for
Yes,
blacks,
yes.
because they didn't want the melting pot situation. Now, people were forced out of their homes and they lost their land and their homes. Here, the same thing is being used in that part of the world, where people cannot afford. So through legislation, through bylaws, they're now removing people from their properties so that that same prime property can now be occupied by somebody who can afford it, who comes from Europe or the US, where the currency is strong.
Yes, and they want that money.
Because you must remember, in Europe, because I lived there, I saw the lifestyle. People are allowed to have 2 holidays a year. Do you know that?
Oh, that's so good.
So what the English will do, they will fly to Spain, most of them, to have their holidays there.
Yes.
Others will fly to France or wherever it's nice. But now they can't buy, they can only holiday there. But when they calculate what they spend on the holiday, and they look elsewhere, they can see, hey, hold on, I can actually buy in South Africa. Cape Town being one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I can afford to live there. Because those countries actually look after their citizens. So that you get governmental support as well. If you're a pensioner, you already got your pension, but then you're still on the dole where you receive your weekly allowance from government. Hey, don't play. I saw this
I
thing.
want to go stay there.
So guys, ultimately, it's all orchestrated, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're making a big fuss about the 31 million rand Gayton spent on a delegation. They make it as if he spent that money going to America. And yet he spent it on so many people.
Mm-hmm.
But now, another thing surfaced last week.
Yes.
Burke, the DA finance boss, basically, took 4 billion South African rand
Invested it offshore.
out of the country. I mean, there's laws governing how valuta moves. And here, we believe it's not only 4 billion.
Yeah, not.
The actual amount that is being thrown around now is actually 10 billion.
Oh, with politicians and monies, hey guys, this is a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
We unfortunately are running out of time.
Just to close down
Yes,
on that
please.
one, just one more. You see, all that, the unfairness about it, I'm not going at the DA, I can do that if I want to, but I'm giving you the reality of the matter. And it's not to say that I'm bashing a party, but that same party knows how to bash others.
Very much.
So when this thing is, the shoe's now on the other foot, now there's a silence.
There again, we're talking about color.
That is what it is. Unfortunately. But yeah, that's
Mr.
just-
Shanks, the last word from you. I see that you're worked up here.
Yeah, no, I would like to work up everybody who's watching this video and is listening to what we have to say. And we want interaction. I want people to challenge us, because at the end of the day, there's no supreme truth. There are 2 sides to a story,
no, of course,
and then there's the truth.
The truth.
Yeah,
No,
so let's establish truth. Because South Africa will keep getting what we are getting if we vote the way we are voting, unfortunately.
With blinkers. Ashley, last word from you.
I'm just amazed with everything I've learned today. So please, people, just
Yeah.
continue joining into this radio station, because I'm learning a lot. I don't know about you.
No, this is what the Said Foundation stands for. We empower wherever we can. And I think that's a wrap for today. It's exactly 4 minutes past the hour of 11. We had a very, very fruitful discussion today. It was awesome. I also learned a lot, and I can always learn a lot from Bevan. He's an amazing guy. And Ashley, thank you also for being in the studio. And from myself, yes, Said, I would like you guys, there's just a quick announcement that I want to make, is that the Said Foundation will soon be rolling out the basic sewing classes, computer classes, and that is very, very it's going to be very interesting, because we're going to teach you how to work a computer up to AI and coding as such. That is well needed today. because the world is taking a different angle now as far as technology is concerned. Also, the baking and the cooking classes, that is also something that I want our youth out there to start making contact with us. You can contact me directly, Saeed, from the Saeed Foundation, 072-186-4429. We must get our children involved in these kind of skill programs. Although that it's not credited,
Some will be accredited.
Some will be accredited, and but guys, you need to make sure, and especially our parents. Remember, our children, they look up to us as parents and leaders as to how we conduct ourselves. And if we're going to fail them, we fail a nation, and we can already see where we are today. Having said that, guys, thank you so much, listeners, that you allow us into your personal space. It's been awesome today. And till next time, this is Saeed signing off. Goodbye.
Want your business to be heard by thousands? Then advertise with The Voice Community Radio, where your message gets results. From High Impact Radio.
Flooded with calls, so people know they can come to this door and they will be helped.
With a mission of building a better community and providing lasting solutions to poverty, hunger, and social injustice.
We are not here to grow the foundation's fancy buildings, but we are here to grow their purpose. And the purpose is the community's